Hello YouTube and hello YouTube vinyl community. This is Rob of Spinning Out with Rob. And the first thing I want to say is a big thank you to everyone. I'm up to 1,000 subscribers, and if you like my videos, please help the channel by subscribing and having a great time. I really love the YouTube vinyl community. I love my local Columbus vinyl scene, and we have a new addition to that scene, which is the Needle Exchange. The Needle Exchange was opened up by Ian Graham. Ian is a local musician. He had a radio show about 5 years ago called the Rock and Roll Radio Show. It was on an oldie station on the AM dial, and it gave you a reason to tune in to that station for that hour. And the station eventually decided that they couldn't afford to carry the show because their main listening base was used to the canned oldies, and they had to drop the show. And Ian had lost his job. After he lost his job, he started working part-time at Lost Weekend Records, and was at Lost Weekend working part-time behind the counter for about 5 years, and he decided to open his own shop. His own shop is in North Clintonville on Indianola Avenue, and it is an interesting shop in that the name is more than what it sounds like. They're actually going to partner with a nonprofit to help distribute Narcan to addicts in the Columbus, Ohio area. So he's going to provide a service to the community as well, and providing that help and hopefully saving some lives. And if he only saves one, it's well worth it. So let's continue on with the store itself. He's going to have a resident artist that's going to rotate out on a bi-monthly basis. The first one is Donnie Dirt, and I did show some of her art in the still photos preceding this video, and I will link to her work as well as an article on the Needle Exchange in the information below. First record I picked up at Needle Exchange is this 7-inch called Raygun, and this was recommended to me by Ian. It is a Psych 7-inch, and I'm going to be honest here, I have not listened to this because ta-da, I could not find my 45 RPM adapter. So as soon as I listen to Raygun, I will let you guys know how it sounds. Second thing I picked up was Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. This is in great shape, nice minty copy, and the price is right on this, so I grabbed it. And I actually did not have this in my Led Zeppelin collection, so I think I have one more to go as far as studio albums, but this will help complete the collection. And wonderful record. It has Cashmere, Trampled Underfoot, Custard Pie. So a lot of good songs on this. Double album, good record. Next thing I picked up at Ian's shop was the Fraternity of Man. This is a Psych record from 1968. It's heavy Psych, heavy guitars, just typical of that era for Psych rock. Really good listen, and this was a good buy at 2 for $1. No, anyway, that was back in the day. They were 2 for $1, but not anymore. Sometimes. So picked up a few other things this weekend. The next one I'm gonna mention, just because we're on the Psych vein, is the Brian Jonestown Massacre Smoking Acid, and this is a 2009 version of Psych, and it is a noisy but fun record and just an enjoyable listen. If you know, and I never owned one of their albums before, so I picked this up, and it's I like it. All right, the next one is a new record by Valerie June, and Valerie June is a folky, soulful singer. I wouldn't put her in the Motown vein. It's almost fits into the Americana genre, but Carla Thomas does appear on a few songs on this album. I think she's on 3 of them, and just a wonderful record and really good listen. I think this just came out in the last few weeks, and really enjoyed listening to this. I've played it several times since I got it, so great record, Valerie June. The next one, I think Mazzy showed this one. This is World Party's Bang, and I hadn't heard this one before. Private Revolution was always one of my favorite records from World Party, which is headed up by Carl Wallinger, the former keyboard player for the Waterboys, and this was great. I loved it. I mean, it's just a fun record. It had a lot of toe tapping songs. Just really enjoyed listening to this. The originals of this have a different cover, but I hadn't seen that version either, so this was totally new to me. And so I think they're doing a few more World Party reissues in the near future, so I think Goodbye Jumbo's next, but I'm not 100% on that. But really enjoyed listening to this, and good record. If you see it, pick it up. Next one is also a new record for those Pearl Jam fans out there. This is a Stone Gossard side project, Painted Shield. The cover has a Jackson Pollock like painting. Painted Shield is a work between Matt Chamberlain, Stone Gossard, and Mason Jennings, who's a singer-songwriter, and they actually did this all remotely. They were never in the room at the same time, so it is a pandemic record, and it's a good listen, good rock and roll record for 2021, and great listen. And it's just amazing what people can do these days. You know, they weren't even in the studio together, they were passing files back and forth, and they put together a great record. Next one I stumbled upon. I don't know if you remember the last video. I will put that above, but we were talking about the new jazz labels, and this is on Black Lion label. It is a Miles Davis record called Bopping the Blues. I looked into this, and it is a reissue. It was reissued in the 80s on CD initially, and it's been on vinyl in the past. Since then, this is a 1946 performance by Miles Davis. Art Blakey plays drums on this, and it's very raw. I mean, you see Miles, you see the brilliance, but you don't get the it's just not quite there yet, but yet you can tell that there's greatness going on. Miles Davis was only 21 at the time, and just a really good listen, and there's a lot of good vocals on this as well. Just really good bluesy, jazzy record. So if you see this one, pick it up. I stumbled upon it, and it was recommended to me, and I'm like, wow, I did not know this was out there. So Bopping the Blues, Miles Davis, Black Lion. Okay, speaking of jazz and Art Blakey, this is the Blue Note Classic series of Moanin'. I have not listened to this yet. I just cracked it open and pulled the shrink wrap off and decided I was going to go ahead and do this video, but I'm really looking forward to see how this sounds. This is one of my favorite Art Blakey records. I have other pressings of this one, and the classic series is just awesome. So I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm glad I saw this one. Okay, more jazz. So I'm gonna do a video in the future on this new jazz revolution that's coming up, and one of the bands that's sort of leading that is the Sons of Kemet. This is an album, a more recent album of theirs called Burn, and this one has no vocals on it at all, pure instrumental jazz, very good listen. Just some really promising jazz coming out of the UK and the States, so I'm excited about this. And Sons of Kemet. Next one I picked up, we're starting to get into the bargain bin stuff. This wasn't quite bargain bin, but it is Throwing Muses. House Tornado. Throwing Muses is Kristen Hirsch and Tanya Donnelly, who both went on to great solo careers. And this is just good post-punk rock and roll, and just heavy, thick guitars, heavy vocals, and it's just a great record. And I love Throwing Muses, one of my favorite bands of that era. And this one, the cover's kind of messed up, so I got a really good deal on it and picked it up. All right, so the bargain bin. I can't believe I found this for $1. The Everly Brothers Songs Our Daddy Taught Us. It is in perfect shape. The cover's in great shape. The vinyl is clean as can be, and it didn't have a sleeve. It wasn't in a sleeve, but it wasn't really scuffed up, so I put it in a sleeve. I didn't even have to clean it. Sounds wonderful. One of my favorite Everly Brothers records. They're just playing classic songs, like the title says, songs our daddy taught us. And picked this up for $1, and I'm just thrilled that I found this for that price. Another bargain bin album. I'm gonna go with this one here because it's in the same vein as the Everly Brothers with those vocal harmonies, but this is the Louvin Brothers, and they're kind of a bluegrassy gospel folk duo, and this one is all about the military, being in the army. It's called Weapon of Prayer, and all the songs are just shout outs to our men and women of the military, and just a wonderful record. I listened to this and I just listened to every word. I just really enjoyed listening to this, and once again, could not believe I found this for $1. Recently, in the last few years, they did reissue a few of the Louvin Brothers albums. If you see them, pick them up. This is a great release. And this is an original mono, by the way, so even better. So happy to find this for $1. So the next bargain bin record is this Roberta Flack, Quiet Fire, and what a voice. She's got some Carole King covers on here, Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and just a very strong voice, wonderful record. And it's, you know, you do see this one in the bargain bin quite a bit, but at the same time, it's definitely worth picking up when you see it. And the last one is Genesis 3 Sides Live. This is a Genesis record that just doesn't get any love. Live album from the Abacab Duke era. It has 3 sides live and 1 side is studio. The studio side includes the hit Paper Late. Interestingly enough, the British copy of this, the UK copy, is called 4 Sides Live, and there is a 4th side of live material. It does not include the studio side with Paper Late, but for some reason this record just never gets any love. It's always deeply discounted, and it's well worth it. I happen to like that era of Genesis, so this is a great record, and it brings me back to those days, probably when I was 10 or 11 years old when this stuff came out. And great live record, and easy to find at a good price. So that is all I have for today. Picked up a lot of stuff recently, and I have more to show, but I couldn't fit it all into this video. So more bargain bin finds, some jazz stuff. I want to do a video on the newer jazz. Let me know what you want to see, and I will try to put something together. I want to do a Neil Young video, so I've got lots of ideas, and I'm really enjoying this channel. And if you like these videos, please click below and subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications when the next video comes out. And this is Spinning Out with Rob, signing off, and I will see you shortly. Goodbye, and enjoy your day.